Hi guys, Luke here of SimBoxx in association with Clint Patrick, and today I'm delighted to be joined by undefeated middleweight prospect 9-0 Bradley Ray. Bradley takes part on the matchroom undercard of Lawrence Okolie versus Glowacki this weekend live on Sky Sports. First and foremost, Brad, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Very happy, very excited. Looking forward to Saturday.
That's it. So before we get into the fight this Saturday, let's catch up a little bit. A couple of weeks back, Feb 20th, David Evanesian against Josh Kelly. He was put on some sort of reserve list in case there was any dropouts. Take us through the process and how we've got to where we're at today.
Yeah, so Matchroom got in contact with us, asked if we'd be willing to be a reserve for their upcoming shows. They've got quite a few shows coming up, and a lot of shows while COVID's been on, they've kind of fallen apart with pullouts and stuff, and with positive tests. So I kind of think Eddie was just kind of being on the ball and wanted to be ahead of the game. So yeah, they put the fight to us with Lee Cutler, who is a good kid. It's a big step up for me. We jumped to the opportunity, and then that was me. Then I was just in fight mode straight away. The next show coming up was Josh Kelly, so we got told that we were going to be standby for that. Got to fight week. Got told I was going into the bubble on Wednesday. Started bringing my weight down. Started prepping my food to take with me, packing my bags and stuff. Got to Tuesday night, told that they didn't need us. And then so the next thing was looking towards the next show, which was supposed to be Dillian Wyatt against Povetkin. That got postponed. So the next show was this March 20th. And, last week we got the all clear that they don't just want us a reserve, they want us definitely on the show. So
fantastic. So, of course, it's a big opportunity. It's a big opportunity equally for Lee Cutler as well. You're both undefeated. Both got a lot to gain, got a lot to lose. But what I want to know is, how did it affect you mentally when you was put on the reserve list? You don't want to peak too early with training. You don't, the mental fatigue of not knowing if you're fighting, if it's all going to be for nothing. You've got to take opportunities as it comes, of course. But how was that affecting you heading into fight week and then the date being took away from you?
Yeah, it was a little bit up and down. We started tapering off, started bringing the weight down. As you'll know, your training changes a lot fight week. So it was a bit up and down, but it is what it is. It's the same for both of us. So there's no advantages there. When it got put to us about these being a reserve for the matchroom shows, me and Blaine kind of had a sit down and looked at the dates of the shows. And, I was fit and I was training hard and I was ready in case something come up. But obviously it's different when you get a fight. It's completely different. It's different mentality, different in the gym. And we said, if we can get anything March the 20th or after, that's ideal. Luckily enough for us, it's fell on March the 20th. So for me, although it is, a last minute shot fight, I've had the perfect camp. It literally couldn't have gone any better.
I think that's the good thing, as you say, is that you've had quite an extensive camp leading into this fight. And we keep saying about this fight being 50-50, whether it's looking at your records, which are very similar, the fact that you've both been on the same kind of time frame with the fight, which is very similar. But there's, as I say, it's both putting the O on the line, risking the undefeated records in the hope of further rewards down the line. As Eddie likes to say, it's winner stays on. Just how much do you know of Lee Cutler now? You've had a bit more of an extended period to study him as an opponent, or do you kind of leave that to Blaine?
I do kind of usually leave it to Blaine, but I know Lee anyway. Me and Lee have sparred in the past, about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. And I'll tell you now, mate, it was a great spar. If the fight's anything like the spar was, it's gonna be a crowd pleaser. But I know he's a good kid, mate. He brings a lot to the table. He can do everything well. Obviously, he's a lot smaller than me. He's strong. He's powerful. He's got a few stoppages, especially in his recent fights. But he can box as well. So he brings a lot to the table. It's gonna be a hard night works for me, definitely. But I'm confident getting the win.
What's your expectations of boxing behind closed doors? You know, we've had quite a few shows since the lockdown was lifted last year, and we spoke during the initial lockdown as well. What's your expectations of fighting behind closed doors, especially given that your most recent fight last March was, of course, at the Manchester Arena? It doesn't come much bigger than that to now transition into behind closed doors. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it's really going to have that much of an effect on me. I've been the same, you know, with most of my fights over the years. That once I'm in that ring, it's tunnel vision then, and it's just focus. You know, I could be in front of 100,000 people, I could be in front of 10 people. You know, it doesn't matter. But I guess, you know, I've never been in the position where, you know, there's been no crowd and stuff, even as an amateur. So I'm not sure how it's going to affect me, but I'm confident it's not going to have an effect on the performance at all.
Good to hear. Let's go back to that most recent fight. It was a victory over Pavel Gara. It was, of course, at the Manchester Arena on the undercard of John O'Carroll, Scott Quigg. Quite a big card, a big platform, and great exposure for yourself. And as a Manchester lad, it must have been a bucket list box ticked off.
Definitely. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid to box at the arena, and you know, I wasn't bothered that I was on at about 4:30, and you know, it was just the people that I'd sold tickets to there, you know, because honestly, mate, I can't explain how much it meant to me. Like you say, it's one ticked off the list, but you know, I want to be boxing there regularly. I want to be boxing there packed out in front of crowds, and this is my opportunity now. You can see kind of in the past year, you know, Eddie's obviously looking to build something there. You know, he's signing Zelfa, signing like of Akib, Campbell. You know, he's looking at up and coming Manchester talent, and you know, he's obviously looking at the next person who can be that Ricky Hatton, who can be that Andy Crawley, you know, selling the arena out. And you know, I honestly believe that can be me. And a win on Saturday could put me in the position where, you know, on the right path to that.
It's great to hear you have those kind of aspirations. Of course, you box out of Hatton's gym in Hyde. That must be such a great experience. You've got your head coach, Blaine, as well, but being part of such a busy, like, high-profile gym, Campbell Hatton in there as well, Ricky, of course, in there, and there's a plethora of who's who of boxing names that pass through the gym, and that must be a fabulous experience to pick up, you know, being around these guys, whether they're training or just passing through and getting that little chit-chat or bits of advice. It must be fantastic.
Yeah, it's class, you know. It really is. You never know who's going to walk through the door from one way to the next. So you've always got to be on your guard, you know, whether it's Tyson and Billy Joe or Usyk one day, or legends like Frank Bruno, Nigel Benn. You know, you never know who's going to come in, and it's class, you know, being around Ricky and kind of having that bit of experience. You know, just the little bits of knowledge from obviously been at the top of the sport. It's unreal, but yeah, I can't complain.
What kind of like experience in terms of sparring? What kind of high profile sparring have you been getting as part of the gym? I'm sure is these names are coming through. They're going to come in for a bit of work. Is there any big names that you've been involved with?
Yeah, so I tried to start something with Billy Joe when he was here, but it kind of didn't. It didn't work at the times. Didn't fall into place. So I'm gutted about that one. But you know, I've mixed it with some of the best. You know, for my debut, I was sparring Liam Smith when he had the Munguia fight. So I was at Gallagher's doing a lot with him, which, you know, was a great experience for me. Done a lot with Mark Efron and Jack Cullen, you know these lads. And like over my fight, the more I sparred them, and I could feel myself kind of, you know, getting better. They were dragging me on, and you know, I just want to spar the best and mix it with the best after lockdown. You know, the first initial lockdown, my first two spars back were Liam Williams and JJ Metcalf. So they were a bit of a shock to the system. But again, it's just great experience getting in with these, you know, elite level fighters. And obviously that's where I want to be. So
fantastic. Let's go back to lockdown. Of course, 9-0, you're an undefeated prospect, but you've still got that tag of prospect at the minute. You've not made the millions of a Ricky Hatton or an Anthony Crawler or Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. How did you manage to survive lockdown in team Physically, mentally, financially, how did you come through it all?
Really hard, mate. You know, mentally it was it was so like draining, ups and downs from day to day. You know, one day I'd wake up and I'd think, right, you know, you never know what's around the corner. I'd get out, I'd do a run, and then the next day I'd think, I'm not going to be boxing for a year, man. What's the point? It was hard, but you know, I'm lucky that I have a good group of sponsors who support me, and luckily that allowed me to continue training full time. You know, a lot of lads weren't lucky enough to that. I did think about getting a little part-time job to keep me busy, but it mean being out in the gym, and you know, I'd rather be a bit more skin and be happy being in the gym than you know, I would have been miserable. So made that decision, yeah. And I was just, once I was back in the gym, I was on it. You know, back in the last year, I was fight ready. I was positive that something was going to come up. You know, and we got a few little whispers of stuff like November, December, and I thought, right, you know, I've stayed ready for a reason. This is it. Never come off. You know, and I was straight back in the gym after Christmas, and same mentality. And you know, it's finally come, the opportunity, and you know, I'm just buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing to get back in there.
Fantastic. Just to finish with, Brad, you know, it's happy that we're on the other side of lockdown now. It looks like we're coming back to some sort of normality, but just box off to finish with, what can we expect from Bradley Reed versus Lee Cutler? Somebody's always got to go. What can we expect on Saturday night?
Going to be fireworks, mate. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great fight. And 100%, mate, I'm going to come out with my hand raised, no matter which way I do it. But yeah, I'm not coming out of that ring Saturday without the win.
Brad, it's always a pleasure. I wish you the very best of luck for Saturday, and I'm sure we'll catch up real soon again.
Top man, cheers, Lee. Nice one, mate.